What's up guys, my name's Brandon, and today Apple released macOS Big Sur 11.3 Beta 3 to registered developers and soon to public beta testers. So this comes a couple of weeks after the release of Beta 2 and 1 week after the release of macOS Big Sur 11.2.2, which came out to the public, and I did make a video on that here on the channel. Now, we did not get an iOS update today, but I will talk more about iOS, watchOS, and tvOS updates near the end of this video. But anyways, taking a look at the size of this update here on my M1 MacBook Pro, you can see Beta 3 came in around 5.5 gigabytes for me, but of course that size will vary depending on the version you are currently on and your device. So let's go ahead and check out the build number for this update. So if we pull up our About This Mac right here, you can see that the build number is 20E5196F. So we do have an F at the end of the build number there, which indicates we still most likely have at least one more beta to go before the final version of 11.3 gets released. So now what's new here in Beta 3? And the first thing is actually right here within the About My Mac section in the Support tab. So if we go ahead and tap on Support right here, you could see that we have a pretty much redesigned support section here. So I'll pull up what it looked like in the previous version, 11.2.2. This is what it looked like over here on the left-hand side. Now you can see it's a lot better laid out, and you can also get more information about your Mac now. So you can see hardware coverage, you can check for that, and then you have chat and phone support right here, and it shows the limited warranty and when it expires. So before it just looked very dated and didn't really give you much information at all, but now you get lots of information, including when your warranty expires and things like that. And if you tap on details right here, click on details, you can see it takes you to this page right here. We have to put in your passcode, and then it takes you to this page right here where it shows your device and your coverage and recent activity right here, which is nice. So that is a redesigned section there inside of the support tab right here. Also in macOS 11.3, we have a lot of changes inside of the music application. So I did not cover the macOS 11.3 Beta 1 or Beta 2 here on the channel, so I will just run through a few things that are new here inside of music. First of all, we do have the Made For You section right here and library, just like we saw on iOS and iPadOS, where it will show you basically just things that it thinks you will like, where Apple will show you, different playlists and songs that you might like. And then if we go down here to playlists, you can see that we have a new section here, a new tab for all playlists. And this is going to show you all of your playlists in one spot, which is pretty nice. And you can see it kind of just breaks it down right there. We have smart playlists, and then all of your hand-created playlists or just playlists that you've added from other people or Apple Music themselves. We also get the autoplay feature, as you can see right here. So we have the infinity sign right there, which is for autoplay, which is something that we've had on iOS and iPadOS for a little while. It has now made its way to macOS here in Big Sur version 11.3. You can see it shows up right there, and it also shows up right here before you tap on the Q little section right there. And also the clear button is a little bit changed as well. It's just in a different section. It also shows manually added now instead of the text that it showed beforehand. And also the playing next and history sections right here are actually tabs now, whereas before playing next was not clickable, and then history was kind of just a little button there, just text, and it wasn't like tabbed like this. So it's a lot cleaner of an interface here in 11.3 compared to previous versions. Another new feature here in macOS Big Sur 11.3 is Webm video support. So this isn't something that I necessarily use all the time, but it is something that has just been added to Big Sur. So you can see here on the Wikipedia page for Webm, we have an example of a Webm video down here. If you tap on play, of course it's going to play the video right there instead of just showing like an unsupported message or just showing up as blank. So if you play those videos, or if you've encountered those videos before and you weren't able to play them, you now can in 11.3. We also have a few new features for reminders in macOS Big Sur 11.3. So first off, we have enhanced search. So the search will now yield much better and more specific search results based on what you search. So it's going to be a lot more accurate, kind of like what we saw with the Notes application and Mail in previous versions of iOS and iPadOS, and also in macOS. So we also have additional new sorting options. So if you go up to View and then to Sort By, and if we change this to like creation date or priority, we now, if we go back to Sort By, you can see we could do it by oldest and newest first, or if we go to Due Date, you could sort by, and it shows the earliest and latest first right there as well. So you can kind of just change these and ascending and descending there as well if you do it for the title. So that is all new. We also have support for the new emojis that we saw in iOS and iPadOS 14.5, along with the next generation controller support. So PS5 and Xbox Series S and Series X controllers are now compatible as well with macOS Big Sur 11.3. So also here we have the release notes for Beta 3, and you can see a few resolved issues right here in Beta 3. So the first one is labels for some controls in a customizable toolbar now show as expected in icon and text display mode. So that was a bug that I've seen floating around on social media and in forums. I never had it, but that has now been fixed here in Beta 3. And then you can see the rest of the resolved issues here in Beta 3, but nothing too major. We also have some resolved issues in Xcode here in Beta 3 as well. So just some minor fixes, really just a minor update overall, just a few changes here in Beta 3, but macOS Big Sur 11.3 overall is going to be a nice big update. Now, as far as bugs go, we do not have a fix for the M1 SSD bug. So this is actually has to do with the SSD drive just basically running at abnormally intense speeds. So it's running at unhealthy speeds. It's basically writing at unhealthy speeds. You can see here it's just wearing down that SSD drive a lot faster than it should be. I talked about this in my macOS 11.2.2 video from last week, but you can see this is, talking about it here in this article from Mac Rumors. That has not been addressed in this beta. I would not expect it to be addressed in 11.3, but possibly in 11.4 or maybe a macOS Big Sur 11.3.1 or something like that. Now, we also do not have a fix for Bluetooth issues. So for me personally, I've not had any Bluetooth issues on my M1 MacBook Pro or MacBook Air, but on my M1 Mac Mini, I do have issues with the Magic Trackpad just randomly disconnecting and reconnecting. Sometimes it even happens with my regular mouse, my Magic Mouse, but I've not had any issues with those on my MacBook Air or MacBook Pro. However, a lot of people are reporting issues with that even after the initial fix in macOS 11.1 and 11.2. And then speaking of Bluetooth and AirPlay, some people are also having issues playing music to their stereo paired HomePod. So you can now play music to stereo paired HomePods and they show up properly inside of Bluetooth. That is a new feature here in 11.3, but some people are having issues actually playing music to those stereo paired HomePods, and sometimes it will only play on one of them. Now, I've not had that, but some people are reporting that. Now, as far as the battery life on macOS Big Sur 11.3 Beta 3, I've not noticed any difference in the battery life, and I haven't really seen many people talking about battery drain either on the M1 MacBooks, which is great to see. You can see my battery condition is normal, and I still have my 100% maximum capacity, which is good to see. Now, as far as the performance goes, performance is actually really solid here on Beta 3, and I would say it's better than Beta 1 or Beta 2 in my experience. Now, Beta 1 was pretty good overall, but Beta 2 brought some really weird bugs to my M1 MacBook Pro here, but all of those have seemed to be fixed here in Beta 3, and everything just feels a little bit smoother than it did in Beta 2, which is great to see, and it's definitely better and more smooth than 11.2 or 11.2.2 in my experience. Now, as far as when we can expect to see macOS Big Sur 11.3 Beta 4, I would expect that to be next week. So most likely on the 9th, but if not, probably on the week of the 8th. Sometime on the week of the 8th, we could probably expect to see Beta 4. That could very well be the final beta, or we could see one more on the week of the 15th. Then I would expect the final release of macOS Big Sur 11.3 on either the week of the 22nd or the 29th. So I would expect the end of March is when we would see the final release of macOS Big Sur 11.3, and that will likely come on the same day or at least the same week as iOS and iPadOS 14.5. So we can expect to see 14.5 Beta 3 most likely tomorrow. I would say probably either tomorrow or Thursday is when we can see that, because it has been a couple of weeks now since we've seen in iOS and iPadOS 14.5 beta release. I know a lot of people were anticipating it today, but we did not see it. We only got this macOS Big Sur beta update. So we should see that either on tomorrow or Thursday. And then after that, we should see the betas, switch over to a 1 week cycle, and we should start getting those betas every week leading up to the final release near the end of March. And these updates are going to be very exciting for most people. I think a lot of people are going to love all the new features that iOS and iPadOS 14.5 brings, along with macOS Big Sur 11.3. But yeah, guys, there you have it. That is what's new in macOS Big Sur 11.3 Beta 3. If you guys want me to keep doing these macOS Big Sur videos, let me know down in the comment below. I know I've not been doing them a lot, but I know a lot of people do ask me to do them as well, and I actually really enjoy making them. So let me know if you want to keep seeing them with a comment and also a like on this video. And if you want to see more, of course, subscribe, because I will make them as long as you guys like them and want to see more. But anyways, guys, thanks again for watching, and I'll see you soon.